Detective Mark Thompson arrived at the scene of the crime, a small apartment in the city. He was greeted by his partner, Detective Maria Hernandez, briefed him on the situation. A man has been found dead in his bedroom, with no sign of how he could have been killed, she said. Mark entered the apartment and made his way to the bedroom. The door was locked from the inside, and there was no sign of forced entry. He found the victim lying on the bed, with a single gunshot wound to the head. The gun was nowhere to be found. As Mark examined the room, he noticed a photograph on the nightstand. It showed the victim, a man in his mid-40s, standing with two other men. One of the men was identified as the victim's brother, who had died in a car accident several years ago. The other man was unknown to Mark. Mark spoke to the neighbors, who reported hearing a loud noise coming from the victim's apartment around midnight. They thought it was a party or an argument, but they did not see anyone leaving or entering the apartment. Mark decided to investigate the victim's past to find any clues that could help him solve the case. He discovered that the victim was a former employee of a large corporation, and he had been fired a few months ago for embezzlement. The victim had also been involved in a messy divorce, and he had lost custody of his children. Mark's investigation led him to the unknown man in the photograph. He was a private investigator hired by the victim to find evidence against his ex-wife. The private investigator had discovered that the victim's ex-wife was having an affair with his brother, and the victim had confronted them on the night of the murder. Mark realized that the victim's ex-wife and brother had motive to kill him, and he was able to track them down. They confessed to the murder, explaining that they had killed the victim in a fit of rage after he discovered their affair. Mark arrested the ex-wife and brother, and the case was solved. The locked room mystery had been unraveled, and the victim's past had held the key to the mystery.